Today we will witness racing game history, the end of an era. Since 2015, since WRC 5, Kiloton, also known as KT Racing, has been responsible for the official FIA World Rally Championship games. After constant work and many improvements over the years, the French developers are now releasing their penultimate part of the WRC series as a license from 2023 to 2027 is now with Codemasters. Last year's WRC 10 will now be followed by WRC Generations on the 3rd of November 2022 for PC, PlayStation, Xbox and a bit later for the Nintendo Switch. Our question: is WRC Generations the amazing farewell gift rally gamers are hoping for? Let's find out.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
So, welcome back to Overtake. My name is Michel and I've been spending a lot of time with the WRC and Dirt series for years. Since the Gamescom video on our first WRC Generations hands-on, you know that I might be the biggest rally fan here at Overtake. I'm actively following the current WRC season, which has produced the youngest world champion ever, Kalerovan Pera. What an amazing guy. I couldn't wait to relive the action with the new game and was eager to see how KT Racing implemented the new Rally 1 hybrid cars. For this video, I tested WRC Generations with the Thrustmaster TSXW on PC. The steering wheel worked very well out of the box. There will also be an Xbox controller impression a bit later. So, what does WRC Generations basically deliver and what's new? Let's start with Rally 1 or RC1 class. The cars now combine their 1.6 liter turbo engines with an electric motor, providing combined 500 horsepower approximately. More weight, a less complex suspension, dropped aerodynamic components and no more active center differential drastically changes the highest class of the WRC. KT Racing was kind enough to add the 2021 Toyota Yaris of legend Sébastien Ogier to the game, so we can make a direct comparison with the new Yaris Rally 1 hybrid. We drive both cars one after the other on the legendary Arena Panzerplatte of Rally Germany. It's a short tarmac stage with a layout for mixed requirements of our cars. The old Yaris hits the first benchmark, it feels light and nimble, has super direct steering and it puts its power to the ground smoothly. 142.6 after a few tries. The switch to the 2022 hybrid Yaris is pleasingly exactly as expected. It's a bit sluggish, unsteady, lets you feel more weight being transferred in corners. You must dose its power more finely. The new generation is harder to drive. However, the extra E-power makes up for the lack of confidence regarding pure pace, and so the hybrid ends up just 0.3 behind the 2021 car with a 142.9. The potential of both cars seems very similar, which seems to be in line with the real world. Yeah, kudos to KT Racing. The 2022 Rally 1 class is implemented well and even more fun as they are more challenging to drive. And in addition to the 49 teams from the 2022 season from Rally 1, Rally 2 and the Junior WRC, 37 legendary cars are also available. To also receive Sebastian Loeb's Citroën C4 WRC, you'll have to order the fully loaded edition, which will also let you play 2 days earlier on November 1st. Markus Grönholm's Peugeot 206 WRC is reserved for the pre-orderers. The classic cars are implemented with a bit more attention to detail than before. Unfortunately, I feel like they are still not one of the major strengths of WRC Generations because their individual characteristics in physics and sounds are, in my opinion, not as strongly elaborated as in the Dirt Rally games. Also, more passion could have been put into the career implementation of classic content, for example with short movies or stories from the WRC archives. So it remains at best as a nice to have. Most of the time you will probably spend with Rally 1 and Rally 2 anyway. Beyond the 13 locations of the 2022 season, there are others, also from past WRC titles. A total of 21 countries with over 165 stages, plus the test area, are available. Rally Sweden has been completely reworked for WRC Generations. Road surface feels better, characteristic snow tunnels have smoother edges, the stages really have a good rhythm here now. In general, the length and variety of the special stages and their surfaces are an absolute genre record and a definitive strength of WRC Generations. Coupled with dynamic weather and different times of day, you'll be driving for a very long time to experience the full scope, unless you have already played the last titles intensively, in which case you might already know many roads here. The epic stages, which made their debut in WRC 7, are of course back as well. Unwinding 25.9 kilometers at a stretch in Sweden, for example, requires around 15 minutes of full concentration and full commitment. Rally Monte Carlo as a classic season opener will already challenge you with some tricky, slippery sections. Do you take the studded tires for the 36% snow section, or will you risk focusing on the 64% dry tarmac with a full set of hard tires? Best option is probably a cross tire choice, just like in real life where the two Seps battled it out earlier this year. One of the most important factors in rally games are the pace notes. Generations does a good job in this aspect as well. The announcements for corners, tight roads, bumps, obstacles and don't cut passages are precise and allow the driver to get into the important tunnel vision.
3, tightens, don't cut, into left 2.
From the icy passes of the Maritime Alps to scrambling up mountains in Greece, scenic vistas in New Zealand, to the jump-strewn forests of Finland, the graphical presentation of some assets like spectators, animals, and vegetation is certainly getting on in years, but weather effects, outlooks and overall lighting can sometimes make up for it. Most important part, with installation on SSD hard drive, I never had any stuttering or performance problems. So what else can we do in WRC Generations? Let's start with the classic career mode.
Welcome to HQ. This is where you make race preparations.
As in the previous WRC game, we can start in the Junior WRC with the 200 HP all-wheel drive Fiesta Rally 3, or qualify directly for one of the WRC 2 teams with the more powerful cars. They have wider track and more aero. The manager part with crew management, finances, calendar and tech tree is back, the latter with a few hybrid-specific additions. Fun fact, official presenter Bex Williams will guide you through tutorials, a nice touch.
Greater the risk of mechanical failure.
Back to our career. Let me share a personal recommendation. Unlock the meteorologist early, otherwise you will end up in the ditch at the first asphalt rally in surprising rainy condition without the correct tires mounted. If helpful hints like this keeps you away from ditches and you like our content, you should like, subscribe to Overtake and activate the bell now at the latest. So I'd say starting your career with the Rally 3 Fiesta is recommended. It turns out at second glance it's not even the beginner's car you'd expect. Yes, it's slower, which helps to get into the flow of the co-driver announcements, but it also has worse brakes and is quite bumpy. And don't worry, if this career structure annoys you, you can start in season mode completely without all these features, without team hub and without special events in between. However, Rally 1 season still must be unlocked. WRC 2 is your highest starting point in both game modes. Freely configurable single stages can be driven as well as the local split screen mode. Special attention is paid to multiplayer components this year. Unfortunately, WRC Generations is no longer used for official esports championships, but with leagues, a ranked system, teams and clubs, the title should remain attractive for online drivers for years to come. So far, we have not been able to test any of this, as the challenges will not start until the official release. We'll probably make up for that in an upcoming livestream. Things also have changed in terms of showroom and livery editor. Designers can share their creations with the community, like in Forza or Gran Turismo. However, the stickers, which are unlocked via levels, seem very arbitrary and not very fitting to the theme. Of course, a photo mode also should not be missing nowadays. This can be activated at any time and offers a rather standard toolkit. To calm down after intense stages, you can also watch a replay of your ride with track cameras, helicopter view, etc. It's sometimes worth watching. As mentioned before, I also did a small test with the Xbox controller. The control with the steering wheel is noticeably more precise, but with a little practice I quickly got into it. It's really good. In general, WRC Generations has good options to set it up to your taste in regard to controls, cameras, field of view, but also with the difficulty level and damage simulation. On realistic setting, you can not only visually disassemble the car neatly,
6, keep in, 150.
Contact with barriers, trees and stones damages engine components, aerodynamics and sometimes tires, which can then be changed on stage, leading to a huge time penalty. So far, so positive. What are the possible problems though? I sometimes couldn't start the game, probably a problem with the controller profiles when switching from gamepad to steering wheel. Restarting the PC helped. When I entered the pause menu during a stage, the force feedback was inverted strangely, but I could fix that by reopening and closing the menu again. On the other hand, there seemed to be sound problems with some of the vehicles. The Fiesta Rally 3 basically sounds a bit distorted, the rev limiters are generally not well done, and on the Fabia Rally 2 the exterior recording was completely bogged down. Otherwise, I experienced no game breaking or major issues. Overall, WRC Generations is highly recommended, especially if you haven't played the last 1 or 2 series installments. It doesn't have the production value of AAA games, of course, but you have to remember that KT Racing is developing in the niche of a niche market, probably with limited resources. Both casual racers and sim racers should take a look. It's quite a different and challenging racing routine for the coming fall and winter. I didn't expect this, especially after WRC 5 and 6 a few years earlier, which were not convincing at all. But in fact, thinking about KT Racing's farewell leaves me a bit wistful that this is their last WRC title for now. Codemasters and EA now must prove that they can handle the WRC license better. In this spirit, thanks and cheers to the French team. Really looking forward to your next big project, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Also, thank all of you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out some of our other videos, for example Marvin's review of the other off-road game that was released recently, Dakar Desert Rally, or Emily's deep dive into weight transfer. Bye bye, see you next time.